Hello, my name is Andrew Campbell, and I was the artist for our game. I worked on the models, textures, a majority of the animations, and the user interface. The other animations are for Mixamo and consist mostly of humanoid animations for our main character and the enemy robots. The main program that I used was Blockbench, which was very useful for creating the low poly models with pixel art textures that are in our game. I also used Blender in some cases for the models, and A-Sprite for the pixel art on the models and the UI in the game. This was my first time working with 3D models of any kind, so it was quite the learning experience. I still have lots to improve upon, but I believe that the models turned out alright.
Hi, I'm Max Levine. One of the main things I did was the enemy behaviors. We've got different sized flying enemies, walking enemies, melee enemies, and ranged enemies. I originally used the built-in Unity nav mesh system, but after digging I realized how limited it was when you want to have multiple agents. So I switched to A-Star Pro by Aaron Granberg, which allowed for multiple layers, allowing different obstacles to cut holes in different meshes, and allowing multiple layers of local avoidance so they don't crash into each other. I definitely recommend getting A-Star if you're doing anything with pathfinding in Unity. The agents have priorities for where they will target: the player, towers, or the main base. They will prioritize going toward their top priority, but if they are in range of something else, they will attack it on their way. We use foliage as an obstacle to spread the agents out and use for building lanes. Getting the final animations for the walking enemies was very satisfying.
Hey, I'm Joshua Froeschner, and I was responsible for programming the talent trees, towers, and audio system of our game. A funny story about the towers is I had to redo the main script about 3 or 4 times during the course of development. Initially, I had towers checking every entity in the scene to see if it had the correct tag. Not really a surprise why I changed that. Now, I use sphere colliders to filter all enemies into a list that the tower uses to pick what it needs based on whatever fire mode you have it set to. The core of a tower defense game is the towers, and I made sure to put a lot of effort into making them shine. The talent tree is also amazing, a way for players to progress as they fight their way through waves of enemies. Whether it's buffing a tower, giving a new feature, or improving the player, I wanted every choice to feel like it mattered.
Hello, I am Mack Larson, and I was the primary character development person for this project. First off, I created the menu. I created the scene manager for it that allows us to go from the main menu to the main game, and as well as the options screen for us. In addition to that, I primarily worked on the character, getting the animations ready for the character and getting the ability for the character to work with other animations that weren't particularly connected to the character because it had some weird bugs with the bone structure. I also did the selector for the hotbar to select the different towers that you could place. Uh, Yep.